You spent the whole morning getting ready. You styled your hair, chose your earrings, found that one lipstick that makes your whole face come alive. You stepped outside, caught your reflection in a shop window, and everything you had built came together, or fell apart, in a single second. Sound familiar? And here is the surprising part. It is almost never about your face. It is about the sunglasses you grabbed without a second look. Hello, and welcome to the Silver Wardrobe. Today we are talking about one thing almost nobody counts as part of the look: sunglasses. We spend half an hour choosing a bag. We try on 3 pairs of shoes, and then we grab our sunglasses at the checkout because the sun is bright and we need something. Anything. And that one random pair from the checkout is what can undo a beautiful coat, a lovely haircut, and even skin. Sunglasses sit right in the middle of your face. Above them, your eyes. Below them, your smile. Everything a person looks at first. And when this one detail is well chosen, it lifts everything else. The way one true note carries a whole song. By the end of this video, I want you to look at your sunglasses with new eyes. Not at the shop window, not at the price tag, but at what they actually do for your face. And right at the end, there is a 30-second test. At home, free. No store, no salesperson trying to sell you anything. This test matters more than every rule I am about to give you. Without it, the rest will not click into place. So please, stay with me to the end. And here is a question for you. Answer with a single word in the comments. How many pairs of sunglasses do you own right now? 1? 3? 7, and you barely wear half of them? Just a number. I am genuinely curious because I own more than I am ready to admit out loud. Let's start with the one thing that dates a look the most. And no, it is not the shape or the color of the frame. It is the condition. Scratched, cloudy, loose sunglasses that are 8 years old, and you still wear them because you are used to them and because they still seem fine. Honestly, I did the exact same thing for years. A favorite pair, comfortable, worn in like an old friend. My hand reached for them every single morning. Then my daughter filmed me on her phone by the sea. I watched it back, and I could not put my finger on what was off with my face. The lenses were covered in tiny scratches. The arms had spread apart a little, and the glasses sat crooked, sliding toward one cheek. My face looked tired and somehow careless. Not older, just careless, as if I had given up on myself. Why does this happen? A worn, scratched thing right next to your face reads as a quiet signal that says, "I do not care." And that "I do not care" ages you faster than any wrinkle, because a wrinkle is about time, while neglect is about giving up. What to wear instead? Just hold your sunglasses up to the light, under a lamp, today. If the lens is a web of scratches, if the arms wobble, if the plastic has clouded and yellowed at the edges, let them go without regret. Do not fix them. Do not stretch them one more season. Do not save them for the garden. Where to find a replacement? The best part here is that it does not have to be expensive. Simple, solid-colored sunglasses in a good shape from Mango or Massimo Dutti cost about as much as one dinner out, and they last a couple of years if you keep them in a case instead of tossing them to the bottom of your bag with your keys. And the case is the part almost everyone forgets, because it is the bottom of the bag that scratches the lenses fastest of all. Next, a shape that time has moved past, but that we keep holding on to. Small, narrow sunglasses, the ones from the early 2000s, with a tiny lens that barely covers half the eye. They were the height of fashion once. We all wore them, myself included. But a small frame today does 2 things, and neither one is in our favor. It leaves the whole area around the eyes open, exactly the area we would rather not put on display. And it visually widens the face, because a small detail next to something large always makes the large thing look even larger. That is simple optics, not a matter of taste. What instead? A frame a touch bigger than you are used to, not a giant mask across the whole face, heaven forbid, but a calm, medium, or slightly larger than medium shape that gently covers the area at the outer corner of the eye. It holds the sun more honestly, and it works almost like a soft filter for the face. Try it, and you will see the difference right away. No explanation from me needed. Since we are on the subject of large, let me go straight to the opposite extreme, so you do not swing from one to the other. Enormous black glasses covering half the face, dense, completely opaque, without a hint of the eyes behind them. They seem elegant, cinematic, mysterious. On a young face, perhaps. Past 50, one solid black slab across half the face more often weighs the whole look down and hides exactly what brings us alive. The face becomes a chin and two dark holes, and there is no living gaze at all. Here I will be firm. A completely opaque black lens the size of your palm is not our friend, and I am not even willing to argue about it. Choose a lens you can at least faintly see the eyes through, smoky, brown, soft. Eyes that show through the glass give warmth and connection. Solid black gives you a wall, and nobody wants to befriend a wall. If this calm, no-gimmicks approach to style speaks to you, stay here at the Silver Wardrobe. This is exactly what we do every day. We take one thing at a time and look at what it does for a real face and a real figure, not for a 20-year-old model in an ad who would look good in a sack. Now for a detail so many of us get wrong, and always with the best intentions. Logos, gold, rhinestones, big shiny ornaments on the arms. The logic is human and understandable. We want the thing to look more expensive, more noticeable, not cheap. And the result is exactly the opposite. A big sparkling logo on the side almost always cheapens the look, because the eye catches on the trinket instead of the person. Remember how we said in the video about accessories that what looks expensive is what is quiet and in its place, not what shouts about itself down the whole street. With sunglasses, the same law applies. What to wear instead? A smooth arm with no decoration, matte or softly glossy, one calm material. And if you really want a detail, let it be a thin, barely there line, not a scattering of rhinestones. Where to look for these calmer styles? The basic lines at COS and Uniqlo, surprisingly enough, come to the rescue, with minimal decoration and a pleasant, restrained shape at a sensible price. And now we get to the most personal part, and I will not pretend it is easy. The color of the frame. We wear black for years because it goes with everything. It goes with your clothes, yes. With your face, far from always. A black frame right next to the face is a sharp, hard border. And next to it, skin past 50 often looks grayer and more tired than it really is, especially if your hair is no longer jet black but has turned a beautiful silver or gone light. A hard black line argues with soft hair and underlines every shadow on the face, every little crease by the eyes. What instead? Warm frame tones. Cognac, tortoiseshell, warm brown, soft golden amber, smoky. They do not fight with your skin. They seem to hand a little warmth back to it. Remember how we gave a whole video to the idea that one color near the face makes you look younger and another adds a decade? With a frame, the same principle applies, only now the color sits right on the face, a couple of centimeters from the eyes, which means it matters even more than the color of your blouse, because the blouse is down below, and the frame is right there, next to your eyes. Now I catch myself saying warm, as if it were a law of nature for everyone across the board. No, wait, I did not put that well. It is not a law. It is what I see again and again on all kinds of different women. There is a cool coloring that suits a cool, smoky gray or a soft plum frame, and on her, it truly does look younger, while warm cognac makes her face look yellowish instead. So do not cling to the word warm like a verdict. Cling to the principle. A frame should not fight with your face and turn it gray or yellow. And which exact color does that? Every woman has her own. And since we are on the subject of lenses, I cannot skip past one more fashionable trap. Mirrored and bright-colored lenses. Blue, pink, mercury silver, like a ski slope. On a slope they are fitting and even good. In the city, for every day, past 50 they almost always work against us. A mirrored lens erases the eyes completely, turns them into two small crooked reflections of the street, and a bright-colored filter lays an unnatural tint on the skin that no complexion can survive. I am not forbidding it, goodness no. They are your glasses and your face. But if you want to look more expensive and younger, a calm, smoky brown or soft gray-green lens will do it more reliably than any mirror. Tested more than once. I want you to understand why I hold on so firmly to this warm, calm approach, rather than simply pushing my own taste on you. It is about light. Skin past a certain age becomes thinner and loses a little of that inner glow that in youth made a face radiant all on its own, without any makeup. and everything we bring close to the face either gives that light back or takes it for itself. A black, opaque border, a cold mirror. The sharp glint of thin metal take the light away, and the face seems to sink into shadow. A warm, smoky tone, a soft lens you can see the eyes through, give the light back instead, and the face lifts a little, comes alive right before your eyes. This is not magic and not an advertising fairy tale. It is simply how light behaves next to our skin. Physics, nothing more. So when you choose your sunglasses, ask yourself not, is this in fashion right now, but does my face brighten next to them or go dim? The answer is almost always visible in a second. You just have to stop looking at the price tag and start looking at yourself. Now, about the shape of the face. I will not load you down with geometry and clever talk about how a round face needs angles and an angular one needs curves. I get lost in those charts myself. In my experience, something far simpler works. Stand by a window and hold the glasses up to your face without putting them on. Just hold them in front of you. If the glasses repeat the shape of your face exactly, round to round, sharp and square to a strong jaw, they amplify that shape, like an echo. If the glasses argue with the face just a little, softly, without going overboard, they balance it out. That is the whole of geometry, honestly. Do not choose by a chart from the internet. Choose by what you see with your own eyes in the reflection. And one more thing, small, but it decides surprisingly much: the fit. The glasses should not dig into your temples and leave red marks. That shows instantly and dates you instantly, because it looks like a borrowed thing, tight, off someone else's shoulders. And they should not slide down, slip to one side, and fall off every time you tilt your head. We already said everything about crooked glasses at the very start. A pain of its own is the bridge of the nose. If the glasses press on your nose, or the other way, leave little dents and slide down, no beautiful shape will save you. You will spend all day adjusting them, and a woman adjusting her glasses always looks nervous and unsure of herself. The right glasses sit level. The arms run straight to the ears, neither biting in nor wobbling, and you simply forget about them. A small thing? A small thing. But it is exactly these small things that add up to that elusive, it looks expensive, and I cannot quite say why. Since we are working through shapes, let me mention a frame that lets you down quietly, without you noticing. The thin, rimless kind, where the lens is held almost without a frame, on just a couple of little screws at the edge. It seems light, delicate, unobtrusive. Well, what could be wrong with it? What is wrong is that without a frame, the face has no support, and glasses like these often read as medical, the kind you read a prescription through, not as part of a look. Plus, the bare thin metal next to the face catches the light and underlines the tiredness around the eyes. I am not saying rimless is forbidden. On light, fine features, they sometimes look airy and very lovely. But if you are in doubt, a frame with a soft, even if thin, but visible rim is almost always kinder to the face, because it gives it a frame, the way a good frame gives a painting one. Where to look? The same restrained selection, only choose warm acetate instead of bare metal, and it will soften right away. Since we have brought up light and tone, we cannot pass by hair, because the glasses sit right between the face and the hairstyle and work together with your hair color, whether we like it or not. If you have arrived at a beautiful, dignified silver, I congratulate you. Right now, it is one of the most expensive-looking and stylish choices there is, but it asks the frame for a little tact. Next to silver, ashy hair, a warm, bright ginger tortoiseshell can sometimes argue, as if it wandered in from another story. Silver more often welcomes soft, smoky, cool brown, graphite, or plum frames, in the same key as the silver itself. And if you tint your hair a warm chestnut or honey, then warm tortoiseshell and cognac frames sing with it in unison. The principle is the same, simple one. The frame and the hair should be the same temperature, warm to warm, cool to cool. Then the face between them does not get lost. It comes together as a whole. Hold the glasses up not only to your face but to your hair at the temple, and you will see right away whether they are friends or not. I want to tell you 2 short stories. Women sent them to me after earlier videos, and both are right on the mark. Susan wrote that for 30 years she wore only black, narrow glasses, considered them strict and stylish, a matter of principle. She bought one tortoiseshell pair to try, a touch bigger than usual, and at first it seemed not for me, too noticeable. Too youthful. And a week later, her husband suddenly asked whether she had been to a facialist. She had done nothing. She had simply changed the frame at her face, and the whole tone seemed turned up a little warmer. And another story came from Linda, and for her it went the other way, which is exactly why it is so dear to me. Linda bought up huge fashionable glasses covering half the face because some video kept insisting it takes years off, and she came to hate every summer photo from her trip because in them there was none of her. There was a chin and 2 black holes instead of eyes. She went back to a medium shape with a smoky lens you can see the eyes through, and she writes, "Now it is me again in the pictures." You see, there is no single rule for everyone. Small is not always bad, and large is not always bad. What is bad is when the detail argues with the person and pulls the whole blanket to itself. Let me give you one more move, a quiet one, but the kind that tells a trained eye from an ordinary one. A lens with a soft gradient, where it is a touch darker at the top and lightens toward the bottom. A lens like this gently shades the upper part of the face, where the lid grows heavy, and at the same time it does not hide the lower part of the eye completely, leaving the face alive. It is more delicate than a flat, dense fill of one tone. Not required, not a law, but if you are choosing and you spot one, take a closer look. It often turns out kinder to the face. And let's be honest about quantity, since that is where we started, with how many pairs you own. One pair of glasses for absolutely everything is as much a myth as one lipstick for every occasion in life. And it is not that you should spend more, it is that our looks are all different. A calm beige coat and a bright summer dress call for different frames, exactly like different earrings. In my experience, to cover almost everything, 2 well-chosen pairs are enough. One calm, neutral, warm-toned for every day, and one a little more distinctive, with a more interesting shape, for going out, for a dress, for a mood. 2 faithful pairs serve you more honestly than 7 random ones you grabbed at the checkout over the years in a hurry. Quality instead of quantity, the way it turns out for us in almost everything by this age. And right at the very end, something dull but important, without which the whole rest of this conversation quickly falls apart. Care. At the very start, I scolded scratched, cloudy glasses, so here it is. Most often we scratch them ourselves, with our own hands, out of habit. We drop them on the table lens side down. We slip them into a bag without a case, right next to the keys and the powder compact. We wipe them with the edge of a blouse because there was no cloth on hand, and the fabric holds microscopic grit that leaves that treacherous little web. Take on 2 simple rules, and good glasses will serve you for years, not just to the end of summer. First, always the case, even if you set the glasses down for literally a minute. Second, wipe them only with a soft microfiber cloth, the one they give you at purchase, and slightly damp, not dry over dust. A penny habit, 2 seconds, but it is exactly what holds that neatness we started this whole conversation with. Because the most beautiful, most flattering frame, once scratched, stops being beautiful in a single season, and we land right back where we started today. And one last practical tip, the kind that saves both money and nerves. When you try glasses on in a store, do not trust the store mirror blindly. On the sales floor, the light is almost always overhead, harsh, cold, exactly the kind that ages all of us in a fitting room. Under it, even flattering glasses can look so-so, and unflattering ones can slip by unnoticed. What to do? First, if there is even the slightest chance, step with the glasses over to the window, to the daylight, and look at yourself there. Second, do not be shy about taking a photo of yourself on your phone, and not your face up close but from a little distance, the way people see you on the street. A photo is more honest than a store mirror. It neither flatters nor frightens. It simply shows what is. And third, turn your head, smile, squint a little, live in these glasses for about 10 seconds, instead of freezing like a stone monument by the counter. We wear glasses in motion, in real life, not for a passport photo. If a thing is only good in one perfect frozen pose, in real life it will let you down for certain. Before I give you the promised test, let's agree on one thing. There is no need to throw out all your glasses in a panic tomorrow and run out for new ones. No need to break the bank over this. Take out what you have, lay it on the table, and honestly look it over in daylight. It may well be that 2 pairs out of 5 are long overdue to be let go with gratitude, and one you have been underrating and hiding in a drawer for no reason. This is not about money at all. It is about attention to yourself, and attention costs nothing. And now the test itself, as promised. 30 seconds, at home, by the window, in daylight, with no store and no outside advice. Put the glasses on and look at your reflection, not up close with your nose against the glass, but from an arm's length, or better, step back 2 paces. Do not study the details. Do not go hunting for little wrinkles. Catch the whole face at once, the way another person on the street sees it in a couple of seconds. And ask yourself just one question. What do I see first? My eyes or my glasses? If the glasses jump out first, their color, their shine, their size, their logo, this is not your pair, however fashionable and expensive it may be. But if you see yourself first, your face, your gaze, and the glasses are simply calmly there without pushing forward, this is your pair. Remember that feeling in your body. It is more reliable than any advice from the internet, including any advice from me. Let me leave you with this. We are used to thinking glasses are only there to keep the sun out of our eyes. Protection, a trifle, a nothing at the checkout. Why give it a thought? But this is the one thing we wear right over our gaze. And our gaze is us, the most alive part of us. So let your glasses open it to the world, rather than hide it from the world. And you know what I have understood over all these years? An expensive thing and an expensive-looking woman are not the same at all. You can put on glasses that cost a fortune and hide behind them, or you can take a simple pair, warm, right for your face, and suddenly step into full view, alive and real. The price decides almost nothing here. One thing decides, whether the person shows through the glass or not. If you have read and watched all the way to this point, thank you for being here the whole time. It truly means a lot that you are here. Subscribe to the Silver Wardrobe. New breakdowns come out every day, one clear thing at a time. Take care of yourself and wear what lets you be seen. See you next time.